Who doesn't like cozy fantasy? Hi everyone, my name is Kayla and welcome back to Kay's Hidden Shelf where we talk about books. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my spoiler-free review for Wyngraf. This is volume 1 in a cozy fantasy magazine series. Now I did receive this copy in exchange for an honest review from Nathaniel Webb, who is one of the authors of the short stories in this, as well as the editor. Since having read this, volume 2 is actually available to read now, and volume 3 is currently in the works. Volume 1 of this cozy fantasy series puts together 9 short stories from a variety of different authors, including Nathan Slemp, Natasha Inwood, J.A. Prentice, Dan Crawford, Amanda Cook, Nathaniel Webb, Angelica Fiore, Catherine Covedo, and Rahiv Mote. I hope I'm pronouncing all of those names correctly. Each of these authors brought through a different meaning to cozy within their stories. As everyone's definition of cozy may differ, there's certainly something for everyone within this series of Wyngraf. Within Volume 1, there is a variety of themes explored in this, from friendship, romance, adventure, family, and change. You'll also find stories with travel, unique magic, fairies, dragons, dwarves, action, found family, and the mysteries of legends. While I found most of the stories to be cozy, there were a few that just did not hit that cozy vibe for me. It could have been the combination of the prose or the storytelling methods that the authors had gone for that just didn't work for me, unfortunately. However, there were stories that I'd love to see more exploration on. From the world to the characters, there were elements that I really enjoyed in many of these stories. Of course, this might defeat the purpose of a short story, but these are just aspects that I really enjoyed within these tales and I'd love to see more of. There were many stories that I found to be endearing, between the characters' developments and the circumstances that they go through. By the time I had finished reading Wyngraf, I was left with a wholesome feeling, and because this is a short read, the entire collection being just over 150 pages and each short story being about 20 to 30 pages or so, this made for a refreshing palate cleaner in between some of my bigger books and just was a nice comfort read. I also found some new authors to follow, which is always fantastic, and I'm looking forward to reading more from those authors, as the world, the characters that they created here really did pull at my heart and intrigued me. Some of my favorites included The Perils of Living with Your Human by Nathan Slemp, What We Buried by J.A. Prentice, Weaving Serenity by Amanda Cook, Vigil by Nathaniel Webb, and Dragonsmith by Angelica Fiore. For myself, I loved Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, the found family, the coziness that we get, and just the atmosphere of it all. I did find some of that in these stories here in Wyngraf Volume 1, and I'm looking forward to continuing with Volume 2, as it does just pull at my heart and makes for a refreshing, comfy read. There are also stories in this that I look forward to rereading. There are some that I loved, and I'd love to go back and reread it and have that experience again. But there's one in particular that the message, the tone of the story really stuck with me, and I'm still thinking about that message behind the story. That one in particular was What We Buried by J.A. Prentice, and it was just so good. Overall, I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. There was a lot that I enjoyed in it, but there were some things that just didn't quite hit the mark for me. Now, with this being a short story collection with a wide variety of different worlds, stories, and themes that are explored, there is certainly something for everyone in this collection. This was a fun, cozy, and entertaining read that I would recommend for any fantasy reader looking for their next cozy read. For me, Wyngraf is the start of something exciting. I'd love to hear your thoughts though. Is this something that sounds interesting? Have you read it already? Leave your comments down below. I always love hearing from you. As always, thank you for watching, and take care of yourselves.